I was in central London a few days after October 7th. And some random, I think it was some Arab guy just kind of thumped into me a little bit because he could see I was wearing a kippah, and I just kind of said, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" Um, and
That is the
I
most
think I was up in the
polite British. That is, I mean, I keep mentioning the British
yeah,
thing, but that
kill
does
kill
seem
with
like
politeness, kill them with politeness. That's my view. Um,
oh my
so
God, Ali, I couldn't do that. Oh, I couldn't do it. Oh,
because they want you to rise to it, so don't
I
you don't
know they
rise to
want the reaction, but at the same time,
yeah.
it's like I can't let this guy. Yeah, yeah, no, but I respect that so much. I respect that so much. I just couldn't. Yeah, I'm listening.
Well, that's it. I think we should, as much as possible, try and be happy warriors, and that kind of feeds into what I was saying earlier. That much as that word demystify, much as people seem to think we got to fight the anti-Semitism, I say we should be creating pro-Semitism. Give people positive reasons, positive associations with Jews, Judaism, and Israel, because otherwise they'll end up. I mean, this is one of the reasons Holocaust education, they're having this crisis where they're like, why hasn't it worked? And it's like, well, what exactly are you doing with Holocaust education in thinking you'll solve the anti-Semitism issue? You take loads of students who are not Jewish, who aren't that familiar with the Jews and with Jewish history, and you say, this group called the Jews, well, they have been really hated. Not just hated, like they're really, really hated. So much so that like this government tried to wipe them out. And so don't hate the Jews because look how much they've been hated.
It's a
People could take that
beautiful.
either way, you know what I'm saying?
Well, no, there are going to be a
So
lot of people that there are going to be a lot of people that wonder why and say maybe there was a reason. There's going to be a lot of
right.
people
So
that
what I'm
think that
saying
way.
is we need positive associations now. It's not it's otherwise it's too negative and it's on the defensive the whole time. I mean, in some ways that's kind of like the mistake Israel's made with its PR thing, calling it the Israel Defense Forces. Defense sounds defensive. It sounds almost like kind of like a little bit feeling a bit insecure or a bit guilty maybe, you know. Um yeah, it's not good to be on the defensive. We should be on the offensive,
Interesting.
but in a
Yeah, I mean,
positive sense.
I get why they call it that. I think they call it the. I mean, you know why they call it that as well. I don't know if that's such an issue necessarily in my opinion. I do think that the way Hasbara, the way we do conduct our PR is in a very insecure, explainy kind of way, where you even see some of these Israeli officials. What's his name again? Daniel something. I'm forgetting his name. But anyway, there's a couple of guys that, well, not a couple of them. The overall Hasbara energy is very much we should be allowed to do this because do you support us? Does it make sense to you? We only did this, or we tried to do that, or we attempted to do this, and it almost feels like we're standing in a court of law, and we're expecting all of these people to make the decision as to whether what we did is okay or not. We're always
Yeah,
justifying, and that's very problematic. Right away, people are thinking psychologically, these people are always trying to justify everything. So maybe everything they're doing is wrong,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and even when we do try and justify things and go to the highest moral standards the West demands, um, I mean, I found one of the biggest revelations post October 7th is that when the facts are now becoming even clearer, the lies become even stronger. So, like,
Mhm.
we heard this word genocide previously, pre October 7th. I heard it bandied about the whole time by anti Israel activists.
Bandied
What
about. I'm
Israel's
using
done
that.
to
I'm stealing that, Ali. That's it.
but it's been using that. They use that a lot with whenever describing Israel's offensives in Gaza or elsewhere. And then now, one would think if you were to tell me pre-October 7th that Hamas are going to do what they're going to do, and then Israel are going to go after Hamas, and they're going to have the most surgically precise ratio of combatant to non-combatants killed in the history of urban warfare, despite the odds stacked against them, given Hamas's tactics, that it's going to be unparalleled. Israel is going to achieve such precision. But there's going to be not just people saying from the sidelines Israel's doing genocide. The ICC and the ICJ will indulge such accusations. I would have said that seems a little far fetched because it's just so preposterous. It's so hard to, um, suggest that, given the facts, and yet here we are. So clearly, trying to justify ourselves being so intimidated by outside opinion, particularly in the West, and dancing to the tunes of Western morality, which is not synonymous with Jewish morality. And when you're fighting an enemy whose moral standards don't work when it comes to the Geneva Conventions, it's clearly our strategy needs a major rethink.
Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.